Hello. Today, we are going to be looking at some of the highest paying jobs in human history. But here's the twist. We're going to start with jobs that might make you go meh, that isn't actually that bad, all the way up to jobs that will make you wish you had a time machine. So sit back, relax, grab some popcorn, maybe subscribe. This is a brand new channel. Help me out, that'll be great. First up, we have a job that is still around, but trust me, it was way more lucrative back in the day. I'm talking about the beloved tax collector. Now, before you yawn and click away, hear me out. In ancient Egypt, tax collectors, or scribes as they were called, were rolling in the dough. These guys weren't just pushing papers, they were the backbone of the Egyptian economy. Pharaohs actually relied on them to keep track of grain harvests, cattle counts, and pretty much anything that could be taxed. And let's just say they took a healthy commission for their troubles. But here's the kicker. Being a scribe was one of the few ways for an average Egyptian to climb the social ladder. With a good education and a knack for numbers, you could go from rags to riches. Just don't be expecting to win any popularity contests along the way. And just like the Egyptian tax collectors were not popular, this next job is going to be one of the most unpopular people in the time. But it had a surprisingly high payout. I'm talking about being a pirate. Yep, you heard that right. During the golden age of piracy in the 17th and 18th century, some pirates were actually making bank. You could forget about the Jack Sparrow kind of pirates. The real pirates operated more like a corporation, with strict regulations and codes and profit-sharing schemes. A successful pirate could earn up to 40,000 British pounds in a year, and in today's money, that is equivalent to millions. But before you start eyeing your neighbor's boat, remember that piracy came with some serious occupational hazards. You got storms to deal with, naval battles, and the constant threat of hanging tend to put a little bit of a damper on the job satisfaction. Still, for many sailors facing a life of poverty in that time, the risk was worth the potential reward. One example of an actual pirate payday was the crew of the Henry Every. They captured a ship in 1695 that netted them 600,000 British pounds, and in today's money, that's about $100 million. Although it was risky, it was sometimes worth it. And speaking of risky professions, let's step into the arena with our next highest paying historical job, the gladiator. And I know what you're thinking, wasn't being a gladiator basically a death sentence? Oh, yes and no. While many gladiators did meet grisly ends, the top fighters were treated like modern day sports celebrities, and it didn't go without its very good pay. A skilled gladiator could earn up to 15,000 sesterces for a single performance, and to put that in perspective, an average Roman worker would make about 1,000 sesterces per year. And being a gladiator wasn't all about the money. Successful gladiators enjoyed fame, adoration, and even some political influence. Were so valuable that their owners took out hefty insurance policies on them. Talk about some job security. And here's a fun fact. Contrary to popular belief, most gladiatorial combats weren't fought to the death. These fighters were valuable assets, and their owners didn't want to leave their investments. Many gladiators actually lived long enough to retire, becoming trainers or opening their own gladiatorial schools. Some of them actually endorsed products, and their faces appeared on vases and lamps. I can just imagine a gladiator on TikTok promoting a product. What a strange timeline. This next job you might actually not believe. In medieval Europe, you could actually make a very large sum of money being an alchemist. These mystical scientists were the rock stars of their day, commanding huge salaries from kings and nobles eager to unlock the secrets of transmutation. Alchemists promised to turn base metals into gold, create elixirs of immortality, and unravel the mysteries of the universe. And while the modern day man know that their goals were impossible, many alchemists made significant contributions to early chemistry and medicine. The most famous alchemists, like Nicholas Flamel and John Dee, became fabulously wealthy. Flamel was rumoured to have discovered the Philosopher's Stone, while Dee served as a trusted advisor to Queen Elizabeth I. That is not a bad job for basically mixing random stuff together and hoping for the best. But sometimes it wasn't all about the gold. Alchemists like Paracelsus, I can't say his name, revolutionized medicine, introducing the use of minerals and chemicals in treatments. And others like Robert Boyle laid the foundation for modern chemistry. So while they might not have turned lead into gold, these high-paid mystics did turn their knowledge into lasting scientific legacy. And now something that didn't quite have the same lasting legacy. The executioner. In medieval and early modern Europe, being an executioner was shockingly lucrative. albeit with some serious social drawbacks. Executioners were paid per job, and business was often brisk. In 16th century England, for example, a skilled executioner could earn up to £13 for a beheading. That's equivalent to several £1,000s today. And if you're American, that's around about $3,000. And that's not counting the tips. Yes, you heard that right. It was customary for the condemned to tip their executioner for a quick, clean death. But the money didn't stop at executions. These guys were also responsible for torture, which sadly was a regular part of the justice system back then. They even moonlighted as doctors, since they had intimate knowledge of the anatomy. And some people believed that executioners could cure ailments by touching patients with their quote-unquote magic hands. But however, there was a catch. Despite the high pay, executioners were social outcasts. They often lived outside city walls and were forbidden from entering churches or taverns, and their children couldn't attend school or learn a trade. So while the job paid well, it came with a very heavy social price tag. Would you be an executioner? This next one is something I know a lot of you probably would do. And this might be one of the most exciting, highest paid jobs in history. The explorer. In the 15th to 16th century, during the Age of Exploration, brave, or let's be honest, sometimes idiotic individuals set sail into the unknown. But they were backed by the treasuries of entire kingdoms. Explorers like Christopher Columbus stood to gain immense wealth and prestige if they succeeded in their missions. Columbus, for example, negotiated a sweet deal with the Spanish crown that included 10% of all riches found in the New World. But of course, exploration does come with some extreme risks. You have disease, starvation, shipwrecks, hostile encounters were all par for the course. And many explorers didn't even live to enjoy their potential riches. But for those who survived and succeeded, the rewards were astronomical. They returned home as heroes with fortunes that would make the modern day billionaire jealous. See that, Elon Musk? You should become an explorer. It is fascinating to see how the definition of a good job has changed over time. While we and you might not be able to become gladiators or alchemists today, who knows what the highest paying jobs of the future might hold. In my opinion, it's probably going to be something to do with AI, let's be honest, that thing is going crazy right now. And in a few centuries time, it's probably going to be like programmers for Terminator robots, who knows. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure you subscribe, hit the like button, and maybe the notification bell, and I will see you guys in the next one. And let me know in the comments, which one of those historical jobs would you prefer? I think I'd pick a gladiator because, you know, it looks fun and cool. But knowing my luck, I'd probably die in the first fight. Thank you very much for watching. See you in the next one. Goodbye.